In this tutorial, we are going to go in depth with Runo Saturn V. I'm going to be covering a few things that were not mentioned in the previous video to hopefully give you guys a few things to consider. To start, let's go ahead and launch Savihost. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to locate our plugin. So once we locate our plugin, first thing it's going to do, it's going to ask us for an instrument file. So first, let's go ahead and locate our instrument file. And our instrument file is this file right here, the one that says Runo Saturn V. When we open it, this is our instrument file. As you can see, 23.6 gigabytes of sound. So what we're going to do is we're just going to copy the path, choose a folder, paste it right here, enter. As you can see, there's nothing. But if we actually look on the main screen, we can actually see all the banks are currently present. Once we click select folder, next time you run Saturn V, it's going to remember exactly where the banks are. And now you can start playing with the synthesizer. One last thing to mention is that as with the standard version of Runo Saturn V, there is also a module version of Runo Saturn V. So when you open up your Savihost application and you locate your instrument file, if you intend to use the module version, all you have to do is click on the module, and all you have to do is copy this path instead. And then the next time you run Saturn V, you'll be running the module version from now on. So now let's go ahead and let's take a look at the synth itself. Alright, so here is Saturn V. This is our new performance synthesizer. And before we begin talking about all the specs, all the controls and everything, let's first talk about the architecture of the synth. Just like Gem Club Equinox, the architecture is exactly the same. We have 32 notes polyphony, it is polyphonic, and of course, just like with Gem Club Equinox, you have exactly the same controls as our previous instrument. So first things first, we got our gain knob. So I'm just gonna decrease the knob here. Maybe increase it. So yeah, it pretty much acts as your volume knob here. And then the panning knob, it pretty much will pan your sound to the left. Pan your sound to the right. And the great thing is, if you put 2 and 2 together, for example, if you have 2 instances of Saturn V, you can pan one to the left, pan one to the right, adjust a couple of controls, and then suddenly you have this binaural experience. So you're actually playing an entire binaural soundscape around your ears once you start playing the keys. Next, over here you have your sound navigations. So you have here, you could select your bank. So as you can see here, we got lots of banks to choose from, including our own proprietary Runo bank. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch gears here. I think I'm going to go for Ensonic. And then if you click on the sound button, you can actually pick the sound that you're looking for. Or you can just use the up and down arrows to toggle between banks. And then you can toggle between the sounds. Next, we got the tuning section. This is where you can pretty much do your tuning for your sound. So you can pretty much add expression. Here we have velocity lock. So basically, when we increase the value here, the velocity will lock to this specific value. And when I press the keys, and now the velocity is set to that specific value. If we decrease it all the way, it will be a free roaming velocity. And then we got the tuning knob, to which we can adjust it to change the tuning of our sound. Increase it. And there you have it. This is your tuning section. All the way to the right, you have the standard pitch bend modulation, just like you would expect in Gem Club Equinox. So if we move the pitch to the left, move it to the right. And then if we add some modulation, as you can see, everything here is fully functional. Then right here down here, we have the ADSR. So if I pick a different sound, Okay, so now here I'm gonna add some ADSR, so I'm just going to increase some sustain, maybe a little bit of release, decrease some decay, and of course you got the cutoff as well. Over here we got amplitude, so if I increase amplitude down, I'm actually increasing the overall signal path. If I decrease amplitude up, as you can actually see, I'm going nuts. Next, if we go to the LFO section, so if I increase the rate, maybe decrease the depth, so yeah, the LFO works. Next, we have our same 4 effect suites. So these are exactly the same effect suites from Gem Club Equinox. For example, if I pick a different sound here, let's say I want flutige pad. And now let's say, for example, I want to add some distortion here. I can already have some drive here, maybe increase some gain, add it to the mix. As you could tell, the sound is pretty much aggressive. Next, I'm going to pick a different sound here. I think we're going to go for G-Dank's Fog. And I think I'm going to play with the chorus here. So I think I'm going to add some chorus, decrease the depth, add the frequency, put it to the mix. That sounds nice. Next, I'm going to pick another sound. I think I'm going to go for Hazy Atmos. I think for this one, I think I'm going to apply some reverb. So I think I'm just going to increase size just a bit, a little bit of width, add it to the mix. And for all you film composers out there, congratulations, you just made an explosion that you can add to your film score. Next, I'm going to go for IASOS space. And this time I'm going to choose the delay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase some time, a little bit of feedback, add it to the mix. And there you have it. These are your 4 effect suites. Now, Saturn V does have a secret weapon. If you go down here where it says Flash to ROM, if you click on Rings VS1, Rings VS1 will actually switch the synth engine. So unlike Gem Club Equinox, Saturn V actually contains 2 synth engines. Right now, if you look at the bank, as you can actually see, we are using the Maze Sampler synth engine. It is exactly the same synth engine found from our previous instrument, Gem Club Equinox. However, when we click on Rings VS1 and we pick our Rings VS1 bank, as you can actually see, the bank will be overwritten, and when we go to sound, we can actually see our sound set has been changed completely. So what we can do is we can pick any sound we want. I think I'm going to pick Harmonia, which is probably my favorite sound out of the Rings VS1 bank. So basically, what is Rings VS1? So basically, Rings VS1, you get 5 sounds stacked on top of each other. Hence the name of the instrument, Saturn V. So basically, you have 5 completely different sounds, all from different banks, and they're all joined together in one single patch. And the great thing about Rings VS1 is the fact that we can actually create custom banks. So we can actually import these custom banks into Rings VS1 and we can create custom libraries. Unlike Gem Club Equinox, at least Runo Saturn V is expandable to have as many sounds as you wish. And then of course we have the info button, which takes you directly to our YouTube channel which will give you access to our website as well as future updates for whenever we release our next version. One last thing to mention, if ever you want to go back to the previous synth engine, all you got to do is click bank and pick the bank that you wish to choose. In this case, I'm going to go Kawaii 1. And now we are back to the Maze Sampler synth engine. And with that, that pretty much covers everything you need to know about Saturn V. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.